This guy uses his stomach as a weapon, and I don't think anyone's going to have a bad word to say about it, or he'll smack them with his flabs. He doesn't have abs here, definitely flabs. Hello and welcome to the first episode in a new series of GameHammer Daily. I am your hostess with the retro mostess, Zoe Kirk-Robinson, here in the GameHammer game room. And today we're going to be taking a look at a prehistoric champion who needs to go out and hit things with his stomach, because apparently that's what you do when you're a caveman and your princess has been captured. Let's have a look at Chuck Rock. Chuck Rock is one of those games that I remember being around all of the time. It was one of those games that you just saw everywhere, so it was a big surprise for me. Now, it's actually originally from the Atari ST and Amiga and only came out in 1991. I thought it was a lot older than that. It was designed and built by Core Design, who you might know for the Tomb Raider series and also a lot of other things, but it was ported to the Master System by a different group from Virgin Interactive. And I have to say, they did an amazing job of this thing. Aha! Now we're getting some... There's a giant pig head. I think we need the giant pig head. Pick up that one. Jump onto here. Can we jump up? Yes, we can. Now put the rock down carefully. Don't throw it at anyone just yet. No! No! Pigs are perfect jumps. What are you... you're doing... 10,000 points for a giant pig head. Okay. The graphics are wonderful. The soundtrack's excellent as well. This game has a kick-ass soundtrack, especially on that intro title screen. And the game really does show off the Master System's capabilities so well that if you were just having a glance at it, you might think, is that Mega Drive? But no, it's Master System. This is the 8-bit system. It's amazing what they could do. But of course, with it being from 1992 for the Master System version, this is pretty much late on in the Master System's life, and therefore everyone knew how to get the best out of it. So it's no surprise that it looks, plays, and sounds so good. Hit 'em, yes. Beautiful graphics. These things look amazing. The Master System, I have to admit, I didn't give the Master System a huge amount of time when I was a kid, because only one person I knew had one, and they weren't a good friend of mine, so I didn't get a lot of exposure for it. But actually, it's a very good system. Oh, come on, you knew I was going to stand there. That's what you did. You aimed that like an aimer who aims things. It's an absolute classic. I thought when I was playing it that the character design suggested it was something like a comic book adaptation, but no. These are just really well designed and thought out characters that have their own personalities, their own great look to them, and I was really, really impressed. So much so that I wasn't surprised when it turned out that Chuck Rock and his friends all span off into a comic of their own, and yeah, it was short-lived, but still good to see that they got one anyway. Smack him with it, yes. Hit him with the rock. Yes, you know it's true. Oh, come on! Now, you might be wondering what the plot is. Well, it's fairly simple. If you've played a Mario game or anything like that, you know what's coming up. Ophelia, Chuck Rock's girlfriend, has been kidnapped by a guy whose name we can't mention because he is a parody of a guy that would have been popular in the 80s. He was a rock star, and we can't mention his name now because, well, he's a little bit dodgy, let's put it that way. So we're not going to go too far into that, but he's kidnapped Ophelia because apparently this parody guy isn't too far away from being a bad guy like his real-life counterpart, let's put it that way. What am I talking about? Yeah, he's a real nasty piece of work. So Chuck Rock has to go and rescue Ophelia from this nasty, naughty man. He has to do this over 5 levels. You might be thinking, well, 5 levels isn't much for a computer game or a console game. Perhaps an arcade game if it's very, very hard. I mean, I was going to say Guns N' Roses, but no, Guns N' Roses wouldn't have dealt with this. Ghosts and Goblins, that only had 6 levels, didn't it? So why are we worried about 5? Well, to be honest with you, 5 levels isn't exactly what you got here. They're split into multiple stages. Each level is at least 2 parts, and you have to fight bosses as well, so don't expect this to be an easy ride by any means. Hit the Cookie Monster, yes, got him. So we need to smash this mammoth. so we can get the pig head, which is a phrase I wouldn't have expected to have to say in a game, but here we are. 5 levels, multiple stages per level. You've got to get through all of that, and all you've got to help you is your ability to pick up large rocks to throw at your enemies, or your amazing beer belly, which you can use to bounce the enemies out of the game. That's right, you smack them with your stomach so hard they fall out of the game. So your main attack is basically to bounce things off your belly. It's a stomach attack. Let's face it, it's just a bit weird. But it is good for the character. It kind of works, the situation is a bit weird, and it just all comes together into an absolute classic game. I've been playing this for years now. I got it a while back as just something to add to my Master System collection, because I'd heard of it. It was fairly cheap, so don't expect to be paying out huge amounts of money to pick this thing up. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And you know what? I'm glad I did. It's an absolute gem of a game. Give it a try. I think you'll like it. So I think we can all agree that was an absolute classic. Different ways to get through each stage, multiple stages per level, and 5 levels overall with an overriding theme of prehistoric mayhem. So I think we all know what we need to be playing today, and it is Chuck Rock. Let's get right over to it. Well, I've already done it. Now it's your turn. So there we go. But before you do go and play it, please do remember to click that like button. It really does help the channel. Leave a comment with a game that you'd like to see me review, and perhaps, if I've got it, we do have a fair amount of them in the game room, then we will get round to it, and that'll be a lot of fun, won't it? Of course it will. Yes, keep up the positiveness. Click the like and subscribe buttons, helps the channel out, and I'll see you tomorrow for more GameHammer Daily. Take care, and happy gaming. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey 82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.